Test series on exponential and radical functions. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the website Global Math Institute. In this video, we are discussing questions from test paper. The playlist has many other questions from the last 5 years of test papers based on exponential and radical functions. So these two are combined together since there are a lot of similarities between them. Well, in case you want to learn from me, feel free to send an email on the address given. So to begin with, we just need to evaluate these expressions here. We have square root of 125 minus 3, square root of 80 plus square root of 180, and B is 2 minus square root of 3 whole square plus 48. You can always pause the video and answer this particular question. So let's begin with part A, which is square root of 125 minus 3 times square root of 80 plus square root of 180. The idea here is to write the numbers, the radicand, as product of perfect squares and some other number, right? So square root of 125, how can you write this one, right? So let's rewrite. As product of two numbers, one of them a perfect square. So it can go with 25 times, right? So 25 times what? 25 times 5 is square root of 125, correct. How about square root of 80? Well, 8 times 10, but 8 times 10 do not really help us. 16 times 5 help. So see, 80, I did not write 80 as 8 times 10. The reason is these are not perfect squares, right? So we look beyond this, right? So 8 can be written as 2 times 4 and 10 can be written as 2 times 5. And as you can see here very clearly, that makes 60. 16 times 5 is a good number, right? So we'll replace 18 with 16 times 5. 80 as 16 times 5. Does that make sense? So we combine these three terms as a factor. Now 16 is a perfect square, and that is why we wrote like this. Make sense? Now, can you break up 180 and write this as a perfect square times any other number? Well, this strategy is kind of similar, big numbers, right? So 180, I could think about 9, right? 9 times, 20, correct? And 20 could be 4 times 5. So we have these two perfect squares. Do you see that? 9 times 4, right? So think about this. These are the perfect squares which we have. So I could write this as 9 times 4 is 36, right? Times 5. Does it make sense to you? So that is the idea which I wanted to share with you in this particular video. How do we write big numbers as product of two, one of them being a perfect square? And prime factorization or simple factorization help us to figure this out. So we have done our most important step, and now square root of 25 is 5. Number 5 remains within the radical, and here we have 3 multiplied by square root of 16, which is 4. So this dot is multiplication, okay? And then we have 6 square root 5. Makes sense. Perfect. Now all are square root 5, so we can combine, correct? So anyway, let's first write this as 5 square root 5 minus 3 times 4, 12 square root 5 plus 6 square root 5. And now combine them. We have 6 plus 5 is 11, and minus 12 just gives me minus 1 square root 5, correct? So we have minus 1 square root 5, and that is our answer, minus square root 5. Does make sense, right? So that is how we have to simplify it. Perfect. So that's an important test question to begin with. Now let's look into the second part, where we'll understand how do we expand and then simplify. So we are given 2 minus 3, that is square root 3, okay, 2 minus square root 3 whole square plus square root 48. Perfect. So 2 minus 3 whole square, I hope you remember what is a minus b whole square is, right? So a minus b whole square is a square minus b square, right? Minus 2ab, right? So a minus b whole square is, normally we write a square minus 2ab minus b square. So that is how I'm going to expand this. A being 2 for us, right? So 4 minus 2ab means 4 square root 3, right? Plus square root 3 square, which is 3. And here we have the term square root 48. Now square root 48, how can I write this? Well, 4 times you can say is 12, but 12 is 4 times 3. And see, we could get 4 times 4, 16 as one perfect square, right? So I'm writing this as 16 times 3, 48. Do you see how I get this combination, right? Okay, so that makes it simpler. So we have 4 minus 4 square root 3 plus 3, right? And this 4 we can take out and we get another square root 3 here. So we can combine now the like terms, which are these numbers one side and these radicals on the other side. So let's combine them, write down our answer. 4 plus 3 is 7 and minus 4 plus 4 square root 3 is 0, right? So we get 7 as our answer. Perfect. So this is equal to 7. So our answer here is the number 7. Perfect. So that is how we are going to simplify. I hope it makes sense. Well, feel free to write your comment, share your views. In case you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. And if you want to learn from me, send an email on the address given. Thanks for your time and all the best.